Hey guys, how are you today? I guess I was a bit wrong with my prediction, so let's review the quarterfinals. The first match, I predicted the first quarterfinal was well Djokovic won. Um, oh yeah, the sorry, I'm not quite sure his name. The Russian guy, he beat Dimitrov, the guy who's ranked around 116. So I got that wrong. I should just look up his name as I'm doing the video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the tennis. There was some shocks. So Tsitsipas, no, where is it? Um, Karatsev. Yeah, that's his name. Karatsev. So Karatsev beat Dimitrov. Now I predicted Dimitrov should beat someone outside the top 100. Dimitrov was doing well, then he got injured. So can't really predict that. I mean, the guy played well. Dimitrov was having a bad day, and the injury just made it worse. So, so there you go. Um, so there you go. Really. So like, it was more about Dimitrov, the guy, Karatsev or whatever he is. He played an average kind of a game. Dimitrov was between average and below average, and then got injured, and it got even worse. So, like unexpected result. I didn't predict it. You can't predict an injury, but yeah, it was more about the combination of Dimitrov playing poorly, the heat that affected Dimitrov's game, and yeah, and then the injury, like I said. So then I was wrong with that one. The next one, I thought that Zverev would beat Djokovic. I would usually predict Djokovic, but being the Australian Open, I'm sorry, being Djokovic being injured, Zverev just had to play at a decent level to win. Zverev won the first set, had a horrible second set, was up 3-love, I think, twice in the third and fourth set. But Djokovic kept trying to say, I'm not fit. I'm nowhere near my best. I'm sort of giving it away from you due to probably my injury. Maybe partly he's just not playing well right now. But Zverev was too mental. He kept just giving it back and giving it back and giving it back and all of that. So that's all there was to it. Djokovic could still reach an average level with the injury, but Zverev was worse than that and couldn't take his opportunities. If he was at his bit better than his normal average or even his average level, he would have won. But he was mentally affected, like a mental barrier of beating Djokovic at the Australian Open, whereas Djokovic was injured. So they kept giving it back and forth. Like Djokovic, I can't really be anywhere near my best. I'm sort of giving it away. And Zverev mentally, I don't believe I can beat you. I'm giving it back until eventually Djokovic just took it at the end of the fourth set. So Djokovic won there. I thought that Zverev would play a decent level and take advantage of the injury. Didn't do it. So again, I'm wrong there. I said Medvedev would beat Rublev. I was right, straight sets. Rublev was affected by the extreme heat. So there's that. And then Rublev just tried to go for too much to hit through Medvedev's defense, hit the ball out, hit the ball over the back line. Firstly, Medvedev's more consistent. Secondly, he's affected by the heat. Physically, he can't be in long rallies. He's taking risks, hitting the ball as hard as he can near the line, deep and out. So, so there's that. But like I said, one, Medvedev was more consistent, and then Rublev was affected by the heat. So took risks and went for really low percentage shots and hit the ball out. And then Medvedev also did a good job in the rally shots, not going for too much to end it in one shot, or not being too safe where Rublev could control the point. He moved Rublev around, took control of the point, and it was rallies which he was sort of dictating. And then Rublev didn't want to be running like that, so he just said, "I'm going for a low percentage shot." Most of the time they missed. He got a few of them, but too good Medvedev. And then the last one, Nadal versus Tsitsipas. I mean, Nadal was just on in the first two sets, like the way he does when he wins the French Open. I mean, attacking, controlling the rallies, great serving. Tsitsipas could barely get his serve back, and when he did, they're just short balls. He's hammering it with the forehand. And then if you can't even get Nadal's serve back to even get him in a rally, and when you do, it's just a short ball and he's hammering it with a forehand, then even if you do get in a rally, which is hard to do, Nadal's really good at rallies. So you don't really have a chance. Whenever Tsitsipas, like I said, doesn't get his first serve in, he needs to get it because Nadal's a better rallier. He's always under pressure. Sometimes Nadal's rallying better than him, hitting great shots. He's generally better at rallying. So Tsitsipas needs the first serve to do it, but he's getting destroyed in the rally. Nadal's rallying at his best level, hitting winners in the rally. So whenever the first serves are not going at a high rate, he's broken. Sits as soon as Nadal gets in any kind of rally, he's winning it. Like I said, he's sometimes even hitting winners before he doesn't even want to rally himself. He's so on fire, passing shots and all of that. And then it's two sets to love. And then suddenly, third set, they both hold serve quite easily. Then in the tiebreak, Nadal just hits all these errors, gives it away to Tsitsipas. Then Tsitsipas is on fire. This whole thing about how he needs first serves because he can't afford to be in a position where he has to rally from Nadal just to hold serve. Well, fourth, fifth set, Nadal can barely get his serve back. And when he does, it's a short ball and Tsitsipas hammers it. No chance of any rallies almost at all on Tsitsipas' serve. On Nadal's serve, now Nadal's serving poorly. Nadal's the one who's having to rally to hold serve. Well, Nadal is the better rallier, so he's still holding serve a decent amount of time. But just that pressure, even if you're the better rallier, that it's only rallying that's holding serve, and you're getting nothing out of your serve. Nadal's just standing way behind the baseline. See, these big guys, these power guys, if they can stand in the middle and use their power, they're tough, they're deadly, they're hard to beat. And in the first two sets, Nadal moves. But the bad thing about these big guys for them is if you can move them around, their weakness is that their movement. But their strength is standing in the middle and using the power. So the first two sets, Nadal's saying, you can't stand in the middle and use your power. You're moving around. I'm exposing your weakness of not great movement and moving around and not good on the defensive position. But then Nadal said, I'm going to stand behind the baseline, play defense. You can stand in the middle and use all the power you want. Tsitsipas did that, didn't let Nadal really get in rallies, rushed Nadal, and on his own serve, it was just Tsitsipas' serve and saying, "You barely get a racket on. If you do, I'll hammer it off the forehand. You can't compete on my serve. And on your serve, even if you're a better rally, you need to do that every time just to hold serve. And even me as the underdog in the rallies, if I get one game of rallies on you, it's broken, and you can barely get a racket on my serve or a short ball at best." Nadal's playing defense. Tsitsipas has been the typical big guy, like saying, I'm not great if you ask me to move around, but if you let me stand in the middle and use my power and stand back and you're no threat, then I'm going to dominate you. So that's what happened. Nadal plays better in the fifth set, but Tsitsipas has got too much confidence. Nadal is doing well in his service games, but he can't really do anything on Tsitsipas' service games. We get to 5-all. Nadal throws in four unforced errors, basically. He's broken. Tsitsipas is a bit nervous to serve it out, but he's enough big first serves to get it in. So really, Nadal, I predicted Nadal to win, but like I said, the first two sets was what I expected for the match, but Nadal just basically was too defensive, let Tsitsipas dictate, let him play to his strengths by being the big guy, stand in the middle and use his power. And also, Nadal made a lot of errors when he did try to attack after the first two sets. So that's unexpected. So Tsitsipas is the winner. So now let's do a preview of the semi-finals 2021 Australian Open semi-finals. Um, so first we're going to see Karatsev against Karatsev versus Novak Djokovic. I mean, we saw Djokovic playing average against Taylor Fritz. Mentally, he couldn't finish him off, and Djokovic could get away with it. We saw him against Raonic. Same thing, not playing at a great level, but Raonic hitting all these errors. Um, so he didn't need to beat his best. And then the same, all these chances for Zverev, but then the same, showing it away. So I think someone not in the top 100, Djokovic, will get away with playing average. He won't be near his best. He won't need to be because Karatsev will be even worse. He'll be nervous. The crowd will be there. The crowds will be back at 50% capacity, but Djokovic won't beat his best, and Karatsev won't be able to take advantage. As the same with Taylor Fritz, Raonic, and Zverev, it'll be another same story, and Djokovic will be playing very average, but will move through to the final. And I'm not criticizing him because he's injured, so that's the way it is. But he's going to be a good fortune. If he had Nadal's sort of draw, where he had to beat Tsitsipas the way he played, and then Medvedev in a semi-final, he would barely win a set. But he's able to play poorly due to the injury, and the opponents to play even worse, as we saw with Fritz, Raonic, um, Fritz and Raonic, and then Zverev, and then it's going to happen again now, and he'll be through the final, being injured, quite incapacitated, not great, but still, his injured level when it's not a terrible, terrible injury is a sort of 5 out of 10 level, and if the guys make mistakes, he's going to get so he will get away with it. So now let's move to the second semi-final. I expect quite a few errors. Djokovic not at a high level, sort of giving a lot of opportunities, but Karatsev giving it back, as we've seen with Fritz, Raonic, and Zverev. It'll be another installment of that. Second semi-final, we've got Tsitsipas versus Medvedev, right? Um, Same sort of thing for Tsitsipas. He's going to be trying to use the serve, attack, shorten the point, come into the net and finish off. Medvedev's going to try to get him in the long rallies, move him around, expose the movement. And he would see what when Nadal was doing that, rallying from aggressive perspective, moving him around, how he was destroying Tsitsipas, right? So I think that Medvedev will be able to do what Nadal did in the first two sets, but for more than two sets, enough to get the win. But with the big serve and the power game, I say Tsitsipas gets a set. So Medvedev is sorry, Medvedev is taking this in 4 sets by doing what Nadal did in the first set, rallying but aggressive rallying, moving Tsitsipas around, and then exposing the movement. But due to the great serve and great attacking game, there'll be a set where his firepower will be able to take Medvedev's time and just dominate and win it, right? So 4 sets to Medvedev, and we're going to have a Medvedev Djokovic final, which I'll preview for you later. But it's a similar situation, like I said. Tsitsipas trying to use the serve, overpower him, shorten points, come into the net, whereas Medvedev trying to get in long rallies and move him around, expose the movement. One thing that Medvedev will have against Tsitsipas better than what Nadal did, he's a great rallier, as Nadal is, probably a bit better with the movement, but just due to being younger. But also the serve is much more dependable and much more similar to Tsitsipas. So even if somehow Tsitsipas has a chance to win half of the rallies or a period like that, Medvedev can rely on his serve much more than Nadal and get free points, get short balls, and get rallies that he's in complete control of. And then all those times, because of the serve, the best case is it's rallies where Medvedev's starting ahead, having Tsitsipas on the move. Tsitsipas has no say because of the serve, and it's a rally that he's moving around, can't turn defense into offense, and Medvedev just moves him around. It won't be like with Nadal where the serving can go off and he can just have a swing at it. It'll be like where Medvedev's serve is at least good enough to have a rally that he's in control and exposing the movement of Tsitsipas. But like I said, with Tsitsipas, what he did in the last few sets, huge serving, huge power game. I think he'll play one game with a power game. He'll just go for it, take risks, all the power on the line, huge serving, and it'll come off at a high risk, low percentage shot, but he's just on fire at the moment. So he'll be able to do it enough to win one set. But like I said, most of the story will be Medvedev moving him around, rallies where Medvedev standing in the middle, moving Tsitsipas around, exposing his movement. Even when Tsitsipas dominates on his own serve, Medvedev will be getting 3 points. And when there's rallies on Medvedev's serve, there'll be rallies Medvedev controls. Tsitsipas won't be able to do anything about that because Medvedev's serve will be good enough to start the point ahead, and then he'll just control him and expose the movement. 4 sets for Medvedev. Um, just because, I mean, yeah, I'll give it to Djokovic in straight sets. Actually, like it's either 3 or 4 sets, but just because like this guy's not in the top 100, hasn't proved anything. Djokovic, all his confidence, the Australian Open, and like there'll be 3 close sets, but I'm going to say Djokovic gets it in straight sets, but it could very well be 4 or 5. I'll be very surprised. But we'll have a Medvedev Djokovic final, and I'll be back in a couple of days to preview that. I hope you guys enjoy the tennis. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Be back here for my semi-final review and final preview. Thanks, guys, and bye for now. Bye. Enjoy.